Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's edition of NXT, which was broadcast live on USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. The show closed with a contract signing between NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez for their upcoming match at NXT Vengeance Day. The segment ended with Perez being put through a table by Tatum Paxley. William Regal made his return to television on the show, shown leaving Shawn Michaels' office in a backstage vignette and congratulating Ava Raine on her role as NXT General Manager.
Thank you, Shawn. I'll see you again.
Mr. Regal, thank you so much for being in that meeting with me. You have no idea what this means.
That was a very productive meeting, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And congratulations, Ava.
Thank you so much.
You are officially the youngest general manager in the WWE.
I can't believe it. It feels unreal.
Believe it. But Ava, I need you to look after this brand for me. I was here from day one at NXT, and it means the absolute world to me. It's a thankless job. Long hours, egos to juggle, lots of split-second and sometimes very tough decisions to make. But I know you can do it.
Thank you. Big shoes to fill, but I think I can do it too.
This was Regal's first appearance on WWE TV since returning to the company after leaving AEW last year. In a semi-final match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin defeated Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
Axiom coming in, got caught! And it is to Axiom. Frazier, up and over, super kick, rocks Corbin, spear! God! Corbin and Braun headed to the finals.
Whoop your winners, a team of Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker.
NXT Universe on their feet.
The match between Donovan Dijak and Joe Gacy never took place due to Gacy attacking Dijak during his ring entrance. In other results, Trick Williams pinned Josh Briggs, Lexis King beat Trey Bearhill, Dragon Lee topped Scripps, Blair Davenport went over Carmen Petrovic, and Lash Legend topped Ren Sinclair. With some more WWE news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio revealed yesterday morning that Kevin Patrick will no longer be the lead announcer of SmackDown going forward. Patrick has been the lead of SmackDown's two-man announce team since the start of the year, alongside Corey Graves, and before that was calling the action with Graves and Michael Cole as lead announcer, starting last August. There is no word yet on the cause for the change, or who the new lead announcer of SmackDown might be. In addition to yesterday's appointment of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to TKO's board of directors, the company that owns WWE and UFC has also appointed Brad Keywell, according to an official announcement. Keywell is a co-founder of several companies, most notably Groupon. Said Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel in the announcement, quote, Brad's curiosity, creativity, and leadership will be an asset for management and shareholders alike. Now more than ever, tech is intertwined with sports and entertainment. Brad's expertise in launching and scaling first-of-their-kind companies will strengthen our ability to guide the growth of WWE and UFC, unlocking even more value creation. End quote. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
In ratings news, last Monday's episode of Raw drew a total audience of 1.686 million viewers to USA Network, which was up 19% from last week's 1.419 million, according to WrestleNomics. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .55, which was also up from last week's key demo rating of .45. AEW Collision last Saturday drew an audience of 441,000 to TNT, which was up 10% from the previous week's audience of 400,000, according to WrestleNomics. The key demo rating was a .12, up from the previous week's .10. In injury news, Cora Jade of NXT has undergone surgery to repair her torn ACL, according to a social media announcement Jade posted yesterday. Jade's injury occurred at the January 12th NXT house show. She is expected to be out of action for at least a year. And in some unfortunate news, Harold Hogue, best known in World Championship Wrestling and Germany's Catch Wrestling Association as Ice Train, has passed away. The news was first broken yesterday by longtime friend Diamond Dallas Page and later confirmed by PW Insider. Ice Train appeared in WCW throughout the 1990s, starting in 1993 when he was brought into the business by Paul Orndorff. He was one of a group of new young stars being pushed by then WCW booker Dusty Rhodes and enjoyed a prominent undefeated streak. During his second WCW run in the mid-1990s, he was part of the Fire and Ice tag team with Scott Norton. After Norton turned on him and eventually defeated him in their 1996 program, Ice Train was relegated to the lower part of the WCW card. In between WCW stints, Ice Train competed in Europe for Otto Wanz's CWA, including a notable run in 1998. When he returned to WCW in 2000, he was repackaged as M.I. Smooth, bodyguard to Ernest Miller. After WCW was acquired by the WWF in 2001, Hogue's contract was not renewed and he left the wrestling business. He made his final wrestling appearances in 2019 for German independent promotion EWP. Harold Hogue was 56 years old. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.